Hey guys, so this is a general reading for Libra for September 2019. I want to talk a little bit before I do your reading on the kind of current astrological climate for your solar energy if you have the sun in Libra, if you are Libra rising, if you have a sort of concentration of energy in Libra. If you're unsure actually what the strongest sign in your chart is, if you are a Libra but you don't necessarily resonate with Libra energy, then it may simply not be the most prominent energy for you. If you want to look at my website below, it is perseids.astrology.com. I offer natal chart readings, transit readings, synastry readings, and I can have a look at your chart and sort of analyze where the kind of strengths are, what signs are most front and center for you. So Libra, at the moment, now Saturn tends to be Saturn is kind of known as the taskmaster. Saturn likes to teach. Saturn likes rules, regulation. Saturn rewards hard work. It doesn't always have a great reputation because Saturn can bring trials. However, we can't get anything done without Saturn. We need to tap into Saturn's energy of stamina, perseverance, of kind of maturity too, the capacity to take the long view and put the work in. Like, we need to do that to accomplish anything. So it is important to get on good terms with Saturn. Saturn is currently in Capricorn and has been there since for over a year. Where are we now? Yeah, for about 18 months, since December 2017. It's currently at 14 degrees. It will continue transiting Capricorn for until March 2020. So why is this relevant for you? You are not Capricorn. However, Capricorn squares your sign, Libra. A square is a 90-degree angle that astrologically is tense. It tends to bring out it tends to, when energies are squaring, there's a kind of tension that creates growth, but it can be through some struggle. So with Saturn squaring your sign, you may find that you have been up against, some pretty tough challenges lately, Libra. If your birthday is around October 8th, this energy might be particularly strong for you at the moment. Or if your birthday is around those dates, if you are a September Libra, you have most likely done your time with Saturn. If you are more into the mid dates of October, then you will have this to come. One thing to do when Saturn is coming is make sure your affairs are in order. If there are things that you have put to the wayside, that you haven't really read the fine print, if you have, if there's problems that you've that have been brewing that you haven't known necessarily how to deal with, if you've taken some shortcuts, Saturn won't let you get away with those things, unfortunately. The positive side of Saturn is that under this Saturn energy, we learn to develop tools for enduring, for hard work, for stamina, to persevere. So once this Saturn energy is past, we can do that more easily. We can become more self-reliant. That's what Saturn wants, for us to stand on our own 2 feet. Saturn wants us to be strong and capable, and self-control is a big thing with Saturn, So I want to have a look in this reading about how the energy is being processed in the collective, and also what sort of things you might be up against, Libra, throughout the month of September. As I said, I don't mean to be too bleak about Saturn. Saturn has a fairly quick orbit. It stays in a sign for around 2.5 years. So most of this energy is passing quickly. And Libra, traditionally in astrology, Saturn is sort of said to be exalted in your sign. Now, I'm not sure whether I entirely agree with these designations. You know, some signs, you know, if the planet is in its natural ruler, so Saturn in Capricorn, for instance, that's where it's sort of playing on home turf and it can sort of express itself fully. But there's these theories, astrological theories, that in some signs the planet can work to even fuller capacity. So Libra, it does seem like traditionally you should be able to do Saturn well, that Saturn's energy is something that you can utilize. But let's see how you are dealing with this. Now, my readings do tend to get quite specific, so this may be for you this time. If not, please do check back another time. I will be posting plenty of readings, and maybe for the next time it will be. I tend to read quite slowly. And I read intuitively. I don't necessarily go by the traditional meaning of the sign. Yeah, so the Eight of Coins in the traditional deck would be the Eight of Pentacles, which is all about hard work. It's about putting in the time, putting in the hours. It's about sort of apprenticeship. What I'm getting here, Capricorn, is you may have entirely devoted yourself to an idea, a project, a task. I'm feeling like you maybe went for this wholeheartedly and this pursuit has sort of taken over your life, Libra. Did I just call you Capricorn earlier? If I did, I'm sorry. It's this Saturn in Capricorn that is confusing me. What I'm getting, though, from this card is that as much as you may feel fulfilled by whatever it is you have been devoting yourself to, that there's this sense that you have also kind of lost yourself in it too, as if something has become sort of larger than you, even though you are its originator. And that perhaps you're struggling to I feel like you have maybe created something that has become something unlike what you intended. So it's sort of taken on a life of your own, and you're feeling potentially like you're not really recognizing yourself in it or recognizing your original intent. Whatever this thing is, this project, whatever it is that you have been devoting your time to, I think you have felt very passionate about it, Libra. But that passion is wavering, I'm getting. Or you may have a desire to take this in a different way. Yeah, I feel like, again, that's something that you have been involved with, that you have been the driving force behind, has sort of taken on a life of its own. And you have some mixed feelings about even your part, your role, your association with it. In fact, I think you feel a little bit misrepresented by whatever it is, Libra. I think you fear misjudgment based on how people are reacting to this thing, this project. I'm getting that this is fundamentally work-related, but It may be that since you started on this road, it may have been a long road that you have been building something, you've changed, Libra. You know, you undertake something, a major endeavor, you give it everything you've got, and in the process you transform. So the person you are at the end is not who you were when you started out. So that original intent now might start to feel a little bit outdated, but also just not really in line with who you are becoming. Yeah. It's again, I think there's a sort of a runaway feeling, as if this thing, whatever it is, has just run away from you. And I don't feel like there's like other people that have taken it. It's just sort of, you know, this... There's a loss of control here, Libra. And yeah, it feels very slippery. You like to have things in order, I think, but the speed at which life is going, the way things are changing, it's really hard for you to keep in step with things. It doesn't feel good at all, Libra. There's a lot of coins here, which in the traditional Rider-Waite, sort of the Pentacles, which is all about work, is all about material, it's all about building tangible things. Yeah, I mean, I just keep again getting this sense of motion, of something sort of getting carried away from itself and almost passing you by or leaving you behind. And I think there's a sense of it going, whatever it is, in a direction that is away from your life direction. So is it time, Libra, for, you know, just a reconsidering? I think there's been quite a degree of success in whatever you have been pursuing. You know, this is your work, your baby, so do you want to start anew? Do you want to give this up? Do you want to take on a different... I'm feeling again this sense of misrepresentation of this, just you maybe don't want your name on something. I think also with this Lovers card that there may be somebody that has come into your life too that has meant a shift in focus, where before you might have been entirely all about work. Your attention may be now on something else, on a relationship, on a connection, and I'm also feeling like this may be a large part of the transformation that you've gone through, and now feeling like this person might have awakened aspects in you that you just weren't connected to before, and it's been a catalyst for change and growth, and that growth does seem to be taking you away from some of the things that have been at the center of your life for some time. Let's get a little bit of clarification on this situation, whether it's work, like whatever it is that is just sort of running away from you, that has taken on a life of its own. Yeah, so I haven't been getting that there's sort of other people involved that are kind of taking your vision and making it something else. That's not what I'm feeling. It does seem like maybe you're doing something, Libra, that you know, other people are certainly engaging with, and in doing so are kind of making it their own. However, I think this has caused a huge amount of confusion for you, and you're feeling like, wait, this isn't what I intended. I think you have tried to fight this, whatever has been happening. You have tried to kind of steer things away from what you were seeing was happening, if I'm expressing that well. But what I'm getting is that there is a sense now of thwarted creativity, that whereas initially you had hoped this to be a creative, authentic outlet for you, that is not what it is now. Let's have a look at this lover situation. Who is this lover? Oof. Okay. Ooh. All right, Libra. Yeah, so again, it's not going to be for everyone. It may be for some a new lover, someone new that came in that was a catalyst to change. For others, I'm getting it may have been I'm getting two things. For one, a potential missed opportunity. So someone new might have come into your life that you had strong feelings for, and it seemed that your preoccupation with this other situation meant that never got off the ground, and that loss may have been a catalyst for change for you, Libra. For others, it may have been a breakup, that this situation meant that you were pulled too, spread too thin, and you felt, a relationship then became kind of the collateral damage, is what I'm getting. So it could be either of those things. Yeah, just, taking on too much, like unable to tend to all aspects of your life at once. I'm getting for you there may have been some loss here, and a feeling of sort of it slipped away. That may have been something that slipped away, that whilst you were intensely focused on something, which has actually ended up being a bit disappointed, or has not worked out the way you hoped in that process, something else passed by you, whether it was an opportunity or whether it was a relationship you were actually in. Let's have a look at where this is going, and specifically, let's have a look at this September for you, Libra. Now this is some heavy Saturn energy. If Saturn has been squaring your Venus, if your Venus in Capricorn, that can be a time when, unfortunately we are faced with romantic loss. So I think, the shit is hitting the fan for you, Libra, and you need to make a decision about where your attention is going to lie. Do you want to continue on the path you have been? Do you still want to work on what you've been doing? Do you want to try and turn it around? Do you want to make significant changes? These are things I think you're going to have to face in the coming month, Libra. I think I think you are facing this alone, and it is heavy. I feel like you have gained a lot from what you've been doing, and I don't feel like you are in danger of losing out financially in a big way. Or at least I think there's ways that you might be able to maneuver that mean that isn't the case. I think it's just a matter of being careful, cautious, weighing this up, which is what you do, Libra. You're able to think in a way, you're able to cover your bases and also to I'm drawn to this character down here. Yeah, I'm getting another message here, Libra, which is if there's been some outside pressure, maybe expectation on you, if you've had success and perhaps it's coming from the family, from your family, that may be a large part of you not wanting to give up what you're doing if it has been successful, even if you're no longer identifying with it, is, okay, well, what's next? I've succeeded in this way. I want, and you know, it feels good to be seen as accomplished. It feels good to be seen in that way by others. But Libra, I feel like you know that you are changing, things have changed. This is a cycle that has completed. You've learned a lot from this, but it is no longer fulfilling. So, you know, beware of those emotions that, you know, attachment to things like status. It's not everything, Libra. You know that. I think you may have been through some losses in the pursuit of success. And I think you've gained a lot of, you know, practical knowledge, of skill, you know, skill sets that you can now direct at different things, Libra, to feel more personally fulfilled. But I am feeling there is a change of direction that's happening, and, you know, don't resist this. There are bigger, better things out there. I think this has been a tough learning curve for you, but ultimately, you know, you can't resist the flow of your life, which I think is drawing a certain cycle to a close. I hope that resonated with some of you out there. If you did like this video, please do like and subscribe below, and I will see you next time.